Need some spicy Time Spiral Remastered reprints, maybe some cool old border cards? Well, you can pre-order Time Spiral Remastered now from our sponsor Card Kingdom by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Meme or Dream, the series where we take some interesting, let's say, decks that Wizards publishes for Magic Arena, saying we got 6 wins or more at Platinum rank or better and put them through the ringer. Try to find out, is the deck a meme and as bad as it looks, or could it be a dream hiding behind a janky exterior? And oh boy, this week, we got an interesting one. This is a deck that I'm calling I wish I owned more angels. It feels like someone wanted to build an angel deck but didn't have all the angels they wanted, so they threw in a bunch of somewhat related life gain stuff. There's some cleric synergies, which I don't really know why we're clericing. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. None of it makes any sense. Of course, in the tradition of Meme or Dream, we got no sideboard, another no sideboard deck that apparently got 6 wins in a row in best of 3. We also have 65 cards in the main deck, which playing more than 60 cards, always, well, almost always a bad idea. And this deck is only playing 23 lands. So 65 cards, 23 lands, plenty of 5-drops and 4-drops, so not the most aggressive curve. Also, whoever built this deck, they love themselves some tap lands. This is perhaps the most aggressive use of temples that I have ever seen. We are an Orzhov deck, a mostly white Orzhov deck, but this deck, for some reason, got some Temple of Plenties, got some Temple of Triumphs, some Temple of Enlightenments. If it's a tap land, it's in our deck for some reason that I will not understand. I guess if you're only going to play 23 lands in your 65 card main deck, I guess you need the scrylands to try to hit your lands and make sure you can actually cast your stuff. So this is going to be interesting. As far as the plan of the deck, it's a little scattershot. We have some life gain stuff. We got like Heliod's, we got Light of Promises, we got Marauding Blight Priest, so some life gain synergies, which goes along with angels to some extent, like Angel of Destiny. It's an angel that gains a bunch of life. Righteous Valkyrie, angel that gains a bunch of life. So kind of like life gain with angels, a little bit of cleric stuff thrown in for fun. Youthful Valkyrie, I kind of wish we had more angels to really make this good, but it is technically an angel, so we're kind of all over the place. If you like angels, you like clerics, you like lots of cards in your main deck, and no sideboards, and of course, plenty of temples, I guess this one's for you. So anyway, let's take I wish I owned more angels through some masters and see. Is it a meme? Is it a dream? We're about to find out. Oh, goodness. I will say the most concerning thing about this deck, by a pretty significant margin, is just the number of lands. 23 lands that's a risky amount to play in some aggro decks. This deck is definitely not that aggro, and it has more cards in the main deck than than you would normally expect. This hand actually looks pretty functional. We have, oh no, is our opponent playing White Weenie? They are. Hilariously, this might be a good matchup for us. Our life gain might act. Oh my god, one of our 2 Helios. I will say, when you're playing a deck that has 65 cards, and you have 4 ofs of essentially nothing, lots of 1 ofs and 2 ofs, when you actually draw your good cards, it does feel pretty nice. Opponent gets and hits us. Sure. I'll play a land, play Luminarch Aspirant. Counter it up. Pass the turn. I am very scared of Mono White, though. Like, Mono White's a really good deck. Opponent. Skyclave Apparition. Hits us. Counters on things. Smacks us a bunch. Sure. Well, Righteous Valkyrie. Go. I mean, we're putting up a fight. Hopefully our opponent's out of removal. If our opponent can follow this up with another Skyclave Apparition, we're in really bad shape. If they don't have another removal spell, might be able to stabilize. This can gain us a decent amount of life, potentially. Land for our opponent. Grows the Aspirant. Attacks with the Aspirant. And we'll take it. Is this a cleric? It is. It's a noble. A noble! Why? Why couldn't it be a cleric? It would be so much better. Veto, eh? Well, play Veto. Gain some life with Righteous Valkyrie. Drain you a little bit. Scoured Barons. Probably better known as a bird spell. Drain you a little bit. Okay, Cleric synergies are kind of paying off. We're still taking a ridiculous amount of damage, though, which is an issue. Like, being able to kill things would actually be pretty helpful. Face Fetters is fine, but not as good as actually killing something here. Bone it. Grows the Angel. Goes attacking, goes attacking. Well, we take a ton. Down to 6. If only this was a cleric, it'd be great. Season Hollowblade joins the party. Elcid. Ooh, scary. Well, that's kind of a removal spell. Doesn't get around Elcid. I guess none of our stuff does. Yeah, Elcid's actually really good here. So if we play this, it gets fizzled. If we don't play that, are we just dead? I think so. Like, any of our removal just trades with this out. Well, alright. Oh, little Vampire Noble, because why not? Speaker of the Heavens, but I believe this means we're just dead. Like, we go up to 7. I mean, I guess we're not literally dead, but we'd have to chump with our entire board, so... Yeah, alright, we're dead enough that there's no way we can win from here. Well, our deck kind of did things. We can sideboard out some cards, which seems like a good plan. What is actively bad in this matchup? Probably Light of Promise. I think that's actively bad in every matchup. Okay. Probably go down these Patricians, although it is a good blocker. Kuranos, not sure what that's targeting. Our old friend Griffin Airy is back. Let's go down 2 Youthful Valkyries. All right, run it like that. Down to 60 cards. I mean, I feel like our life gain should be good against our opponent's deck. Whether or not it'll actually be enough without a side... Ooh, all right, we got a Scryland. All right, we got a Scryland, so we're good. We can desperately scry to try to find more lands. That's not a land. Yeah, so, I mean, I can get the thinking of playing off-color temples, and I think it's even correct in some decks. I don't know about the idea of doing that in this deck, though. Opponent runs out a Giant Killer. Land hits us. Oh, come on, land. We really need a land. Elcid. All right. Temple of Plenty. That is a land. Technically. Oh, my God. Oh, could you imagine if these were lands that came into play untapped and made black mana instead of coming into play tapped and adding colors that are not in our deck? That would make it so much better. Opponent hits us. Usher of the Fallen. Well, boom. Off-color temple. Why? Why? To the bottom, because we need lands. Respond it, Marshall. This mana base. This is one of the funnier mana bases I've ever seen anyone build. Like, it looks like we're playing some Golos deck or something. Opponent plays a Faceless Haven. Has removal. Yeah. Gets in. Hits us. Sure. Makes a token. Yeah. Oh my God, we've hit. We've hit everyone! Weird. These Scrylands, this mana. We're almost a mono white deck. We got a little bit of black. And look at this mana. Opponent, land. I mean, if we live, we got a shot. Because this has lifelink. And we can cast these Face Fetters to give us even more lifelink and make dorks. Like, if our opponent attacks and taps, we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then we gain 3, we gain 4, we make a 2/2. All right, opponent has Legion Angel. Yeah. And more Ushers. And opponent passes. Well, Face Fetters, the Faceless Haven. Gotta go Faceless Haven because if we target a creature, they can save it with Elsid. Opponent. Like, yeah. Okay, Glass Casket. Gets rid of the 2/2. Opponent. Taps. Attacks. Yeah, I think we're still just dying. Now, opponents hit a lot of removal, too. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Well, we're down to 7. Heliod's not super helpful. Angel of Destiny. Oh, is there any way we get out of this? Is there any possibility? Well, let's Faith Fetters Legion Angel. A temporary solution, but it is a solution. No attacks past the turn. Back up to 11. Opponent taps. I wonder if they know they can use Elsid to save their thing. Goes to combat. Ooh, wow, okay. Block you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, block a 1/1. We go to 7. About it. More Legion Angels, I presume. Yeah. Play Cleric of Life's Bond. Speaker of the Heavens. Luminarch Aspirant. Counter on the Dork. No attacks. I mean, we're at 9. We're not dead. Another Faceless Haven. Usher the Fallen. Okay. Okay. This might be happening. Maybe, sort of. Taps. Opponent. A big attack. So we will block. 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 And take 2? Alright. Yeah, let's do some blocking. This is kind of working. Opponent. Saves a Legion Angel. Sure. Stuff dies. We gain some life. Opponent passes. Ooh, Daxos. That's actually really good here. Daxos. Make a dork. Grow our dorks. Heliod. Yes, trigger. Grow Archon. Oh! Opponent's cooped! Our janky life gain synergies added up to a win. Okay, run it back. All right, that was actually really good. I mean, that's kind of what we were hoping would happen in this matchup, with us having just so much life gain. Yeah, if we draw the right cards. I think the secret is you gotta draw one of each Scryland. So you have all 5 colors of mana. And then opponents they don't know what to expect. Maybe it's bluff value. Opponents got to be expecting, they're expecting anything. who knows what it could be that we could cast since we have all 5 colors of mana for no reason. About it. Land and... Sand's a bit slow, but it should be able to hit us our lands, hopefully. As long as we hit our lands and we can, like, cast Valkyrie into Resplendent Marshal and get down Griffinary, like, we have a shot. That's a land that we like. Well, Template Triumph, Scry. We can't say no to a land. It's not a land we really want at the moment, but we would rather have an untapped land. But when you consider our deck is almost exclusively tap lands, I don't think we can be too greedy. Well, Scoured Barrens. Boom. Back to 20. Undid an entire turn of Giant Killer beats. Cheaty lands. OP. Opponent gets and hits us. Down to 16. And, ooh, more Hollow Blades. Well, we will play the land, play Valkyrie. Hope for no removal. A removal spell would be really bad. That'd be really bad. We need it to live. We need it to live and start getting us like... Oh, land. Yeah. That land off the top might be the death of us here. Opponent, yeah. Goes attacking, hits us a bunch. Down to 9. Ooh, that was a really good draw for our opponent. Well, play this. Face Fetters, a Hollow Blade. Well, we'll see. That's what we needed to not have happen, though. That was bad. That was real bad. Back to 13 for a minute. Opponent. Another land off the top. Maul the Skyclaves. And now I think we die. We gotta draw another removal spell. Yeah. Well, close. It's a land. So, play this, we die. Play this, we die. Play anything, we die. Alright. Well, I mean, I will say we're only one game in, and quickly moving away from Mythic. But I will say I like some of the synergies we saw in this deck. Like, maybe there's something there with the idea of like clerics and angels in life game. I'm probably going to play 60 cards. Most likely going to have a sideboard. But we did see some cool synergies going on in a obviously horribly losing effort. But, alright. I mean, when you play 23 lands, you can't really not keep 2 landers. Well, that's not a land. To the bottom. Opponent. So probably Rakdos Sacrifice, most likely. Opponent, land, and Mire Triton. Alright, so Croxes and so forth. Play the land on... It's actually kind of a tough choice. I guess we gotta go black and play Youthful Valkyrie. I think Youthful Valkyrie could be a good 2-drop in a Angel deck. I don't know if it's a good 2-drop in a I wish I owned more Angel deck. That's kind of the issue is, like, that's an Angel. That's an Angel. Not an Angel, not an Angel. Definitely not an Angel. Do we just trade this? How do we win this game? Trading it does put cards in the graveyard. Alright, no blocks. We'll take 2. We'll take 2. Yeah, down to 18. About it. We really need to hit some of our 23 lands. That's what we need the most. Give me one of those off-color temples. I would be so thrilled. Or an untapped land. We'd also take that. Opponent scries to the top. Alright, that's not a land. Well, get and hit ya. Down to 21. Sadly, but unsurprisingly, past the turn. Opponent. Ooh, Youthful Valkyrie is so good it cannot be stopped by a Bone Crusher Giant. You can see our opponent hover for a second. And like, no, not going to work. Opponent gets it, hits us. All right, do we draw land? Now I think we've moved on to the stage where you really need it to be an untapped land. Got it. You got it. Little does our opponent know we are not really an angel deck. much less scary than it might. Oh my god, all right. Well, we did talk about it in the intro. 23 lands, 65 cards. A bit light. A bit on the light side. Opponent. Land attacks. Turgid. Well, here's our Scryland. Definitely putting Marauding Bright Fleece to the bottom. Opponent. Oh, fastest bottom of all time. Gets it, hits us down to 6. So we're just dying as we do nothing. I think we're actually just dead. Like, we can answer the Turgid, but that doesn't do anything. We answer the Turgid. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll draw our card for the turn, and then we will concede. Because our opponent has lethal, even if we answer one. Well, alright. I mean, yeah. People don't like early scoops, so we will fight to the bitterest of ends. I mean, we are dead, though. There's just... Our deck doesn't have a way to get out of this, so we can answer the Turgid. We go to 2. I guess our opponent's playing around a Wrath, which... I mean... I don't even know what's in our deck, so I guess I can't blame our opponent for also not knowing. Opponent. Well, play the land, pass the turn. Opponent mills, makes a zombie. A little bit disappointing that we didn't do anything because our opponent's hand was not that good. Like, we could be facing down Croxas and all that stuff. So our opponent actually had what I would consider a pretty medium to poor hand for the deck that they're playing. Yeah, so now, I mean, we're just literally dead. Yeah, they had a pretty medium to poor hand, but we didn't have lands. No lands. So we will go down. Light of Promise. First and foremost. As bad as Kurteros was last match, it actually seems very relevant this match. What else? Let's go Youthful Valkyrie, which... I'm just not sold on us having enough angels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a lot, especially out of a 65 card deck. 7 is not a lot of... we wish we owned more. Let's put it that way. And go down this Patrician. It kind of feels like this is like 3 decks mixed together. It kind of feels like it's an angel deck, it's a cleric deck, it's a life gain deck. All those things are like kind of related. Angels gain life, clerics care about life gain. So you can see how you get to the life gain spot as well, but then there's also a lot of things that just don't necessarily go together depending on your draw. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is one of those decks where it's making me want to build another deck, if that makes sense. So far, it has some sweet synergies. I wonder if clerics could actually be sweet in standard. Maybe? Possibly? Perhaps? You never know. How many more synonyms can we think of? Temple of Triumph. No, we don't have red cards, opponent. You don't need to worry about that. It's just a tap land. Tap land for our opponent. Ooh, all right. Temple of Silence. All right, we'll keep a tap land. A tap land's a land. Tune in next week for more Enlightening magic theories. Croxa. Yeah, I guess it's Angel of Destiny. Probably the least synergistic card in our hand at the moment. Well, play... Yeah, let's just play Skyward Barreds. I mean, Archon into Face Fetters is... That's a thing. And also Heliod, potentially. Booted. I mean, that does require Archon Living, which... that's not a guarantee. About it. Temple of Malice. Sure. To the bottom. And a Mire Triton. Might have been better the opposite order, but we will play a Pathway on White. Archon. Not an Angel, not a Cleric, but kind of life gainy. That's part of our life gain group. Opponent. Please don't kill it. Swamp. And kills it. Yeah. Goes to combat, hits us. Opponent passes. Well, I guess we play Heliod. Opponent. Hits us. 17. I really don't want to Faith Fetters a Mire Triton if we can help it. Croxa's going to be coming back here shortly. Croxa is not a great thing to remove with Faith Fetters either because you can Legend Rule it pretty easily. Banishing Light is better. Yeah. Yeah. Right to the Valkyrie. Please don't kill it. Don't kill it, opponent. Go. Opponent. Kills it. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. And hits us. Down to 15. Now we probably got to answer this, or we're just going to lose our Banishing Light anyway. Oh, another Mire Triton. Mills some cards, sets up Croxa. Well, Banishing Light. Get rid of Elspeth's Nightmare for minimal value. Scryland. Well, we'll keep another back. I guess we're the control deck. Eventually, we're going to need a creature, though, because, like, this Heliod's doing nothing. Opponent, land in. Crags it. Well, we're probably about to get Croxa'd. Hits us down to 11. And we're just... I mean, our opponent's just slowly beating us down as we do not much. Here comes Croxa. We discard the... I guess the Blight Priest is just pretty bad. Yeah. Opponent. Passes. Well, we will Banishing Light. Get rid of Croxa. Hopefully. Alright, no Village Rites. That's good. Well, we will pass the turn. I mean, if we get 2 more white mana symbols, we can turn Heliod on, and that's kind of a thing. Alright, opponent stomps our face. Oh, we are dying quickly. Down to 9-5. I don't know if we're going to live long enough to get Heliod on. I guess something that is double white, and our opponent not having any of these cards be removal would be good. Down to 5. Where's Crushy? About it. Land. Passes. Face Fetters. Oh, down to 3, up to 7. Then back down to 3. I guess we grow this Heliod. Okay. We still can't turn it on. If this Heliod was a creature, our life would be so much easier. About it. Combat hits us. Down to 3. Passes. I'll play Speaker of the Heavens. Play Phase Fetters on Mire Triton. Please work. This is a fragile way to turn on Heliod, because our opponent can theoretically kill or sack their own creatures. Like that, for example. Well, no attacks. Agonizing Remorse takes our Aspirant. Alright, back to needing a top deck. Down to what? Please not a Scryland. Well, alright. Technically, Banishing Light keeps us alive. Get rid of the Mire Triton. And yeah, I mean, we're getting in there. Come on, Heliod! At 1 life! Whiff, 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 whiff. We're dead to Bone Crusher if they top deck it. Boy, another threat that we could give lifelink would be really helpful. About it. Also to Decroxa. Okay. Kills that to turn off Heliod. Yeah, that is kind of the issue with Face Fetters. Opponent passes. Outrageous Valkyrie. Turn on Heliod. No Croxa, no Bone Crusher. No Croxa, no Bone Crusher. If we untap, there's a chance we win this game. Opponent. Scryland. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. To the bottom. Oh man, we want a Scoured Barons so bad. Scoured Barons is lethal. If Valkyrie lives. Do they have another removal spell? They've cast so many. On their own creatures even. Oh my god, they do. Alright. Well, Griffinary. Not good, but it's a white mana. Alright, no Bone Crusher. No Croxa. I can't look about it. My god. Well, it wasn't Bone Crusher or Croxa. So, score, I guess. So close. So close. Oh, this deck. Oh, boy. Well, the deck put up a bit of a fight there. It did things a little bit. A little bit. In the end, opponent drew Tibalt. Although, to be fair, our opponent had a pretty huge percentage of their deck was going to beat us there. So we were hoping to get lucky, and we were not. All right, come on, Angels. Somehow, some way, can we at least win a match? Even with our worst Meme or Dream decks, we usually end up winning a match. It would be funny if this was the one that didn't. Opponent in the deck. Hell, yup. We will mulligan. We will continue to mulligan. this is kind of what I was expecting to happen with this deck fairly often. Yeah, Griffinary and Veto. I mean, who knows? Maybe we draw some life gain. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. All right. Will we resolve a spell? Looks like the dragon control deck. The natural enemy of 65 card Angel Cleric life gain. No sideboard shenanigans. Opponent foretells. Well, land. We'll keep it. We've assembled Templetron. Next turn. Getting there. Oh, opponent. Land passes. Well, we will go to combat. Get in for one. Maybe. Opponent takes it. Griffinary. And maybe we can get our opponent to time out, as they have to take a really long time to think about whether they should counter our cards because they're so bad they don't know if it's worth it or not. Maybe that's how you get 6 wins in a row with this deck. You just play really, really bad cards that no one knows, and try to get the timeout from thinking too long. I think that's the best strategy we've come up with yet, opponent. Fjord. Well, let's play this thing. Neither an angel or a cleric. If this was a cleric, it might be a good card. If it was an angel, it might be a good card. As a noble, though, less so. Well, let's play... Yeah, I mean, to the bottom, I guess. I am actually not sure what we're looking for here. Opponent. Well, Veto. Okay. Boom. Scoured Barons. Down to 18. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it, opponent. Combo. It's a combo. Our opponent just niced our Veto into a tap land. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I guess for our deck, that might actually qualify as nice. Opponent. Hiding it away. How about a Daxos? How do you feel about that, opponent? Veto's going to get you. One a turn. Opponent counters. Well, hits you for one. Go. Opponent plays a land. And how's our timeout plan coming? 26, 28. So, I mean, we're playing way faster than our opponent. That's for sure. Go to combat attack. Double strike it. Hit you for two. I mean, if our opponent just draws all counters the rest of the game. Maybe. Opponent. Counters and lands. Lands are also acceptable. Opponent. Fable Passage. Cracks it. Snow-covered island. And... gotta get rid of the Veto. Was doing too much work. Well, alright. Angel of Destiny. Gonna get countered. Yeah. Your go. Opponent plays a lad. Well, we will scryland. Don't need more banishing lights. Pass the turn. Boot it. Passes. Well, play Kunaros. Counter or Frostbite? That's a question. Pass the turn. Looks like the answer might be Frostbite. Opponent cracks, thins the deck. Thing is, I don't have much confidence that we can win the long game against our opponent's deck. Like, eventually, oh my god, more banishing lights. Eventually, they are going to draw something. Bunch of card draw, a dragon. Opponent cracks Fabled Passage. Snow-covered island untaps. Land passes. Well, we'll go to combat. We will attack you. Opponent bounces. Replay Kunaros. Pathway. Go. I mean, so far the fact that our opponent hasn't done much means that us not doing much has been okay-ish. Land for our opponent hits us. Down to 23. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Play the land past the turn. Opponent down to 9. Come on. A few more turns of drawing lands, opponent. Please. Please, please. Land for our opponent. Okay, gets it hits us. Back down to 23. I'll go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent down to 6. Scryland. Look for some action. Come on. Come on. Oh, we don't need more enchantments that do nothing. Pass the turn. Opponent adapts. Hits us. Back to 23. Foretells. Well, play Blight Priest. Resolves. Go to combat. Attack you. Oh! Opponent! Down to 2! Untaps! Land! Spikefield hazards themselves. It scoops! Okay, okay. Wow! Okay, all you need is your opponent to massively flood in, and you got him. All right, Valkyrie out. Light of Promise, out like usual. Patrician. Actually, that blocks a Brazen Borrower. That's an argument for keeping it. Yeah, we're going to cut it still. Well, let's go down the Kunaros. Kunaros it won us that game, but it doesn't actually do anything. Whew. All right. I mean, we are kind of making use of our sideboard, to some extent, by getting rid of cards that we don't want in our deck. Well, that was a win. Can we win a match, though? Awkwardly, our odds of getting Mana Skewer were lower after sideboarding. I guess Heliod to the bottom. I don't know if it really matters much with this hand. Well, Temple, Scry. Keep it on tap land. Ship the turn. Land for our opponent. Well, we will play Shadow Sphere. And Skyward Barracks. Go. Booted. Island passes. Well, play the land. Heliod. Probably good enough to eat a counter, I would assume. Ooh, all right, no counter. Okay. Opponent just makes a shark. I mean, I guess Heliod isn't really doing anything at the moment. And it still gets brazenly borrowed about it. Land, cracks it. Foretells. Hits us. Well, I guess it's Blight Priest time to shine. Or try to shine. Blight. Ooh, all right. Let's see if this gives a nice. Boom. Come on, opponent. Come on, opponent. No nice this time. I'm a little disappointed. I will admit, opponent, I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting a nice there. We played a land and hit you for one. This is even, I mean, just as good as Veto in this scenario. Opponent. Many cards in hand. And Faceless Haven. Faceless Haven would probably be really good in our deck. It is an angel and a cleric. All right, so opponent has a Goldspan this time. Hits us. This is where life becomes scary. Opponent passes. Well, opponent, how would you like some treasures? I assume this is going to lead to a counter, but we'll see. Wow, it does not. Alright, well, get some triggers. Put a counter on the Blight Priest. Temple. Scry. Do not need more temples. Go to combat. Hit ya. Man? Kind of working. Ish. Sort of. Opponent's got to have a bunch of dragons. Like, if they're not countering anything, they got to have a ton of dragons, right? It's got to be a bunch of dragons and shark typhoons. This marauding Blight Priest is actually sort of marauding this game. I don't actually think I've ever seen this card live up to its name, but it's actually hit our opponent for, like, 7 damage or something. New world record. Personal best for marauding Blight Priest. About it. All the mana. What do you got to do with it, opponent? What do you got to do? How's our timeout plan? 19:26. Okay. Well, I mean, we're working on it. We're working on it. Oh, okay. About it. Timeout used. Boy, our opponent's really struggling with this turn for some reason. Alright. The struggle ends with a Shatter Skull smashing eventually. Well, we will play Speaker of the Heavens. Well, down under 18. We're making strides. We're making strides. Couple more turns like that, and the timeout might be back on the menu. Oh, opponent has so many cards in hand. Well, we will attempt to equip our Speaker of the Heavens. Opponent kills it. Sure. And we will pass the turn. Opponent. All right. Well, I think the timeout dream and the winning this game dream are both out the window with Goldspan number 2. I think what we do is we cast this Archon and see if our opponent has a counter, and then if they do, well, we'll see. All right, opponent does have a counter. I mean, I guess we won't scoop yet. Scooping does work against our opponent timing themselves out. And we're not technically dead on board. I mean, we know our deck. And we know it's not coming back, but in theory, like, with just what our opponent can see, there could be hope. Shark Typhoon. Well, we were right about the hand being full of Shark Typhoons and so forth. Let's play a Face Fetters. Give you some treasure. Opponent lets it go. Not sure why they aren't countering it, but I guess they just don't care. I guess they figure they're beating us anyway, so hold on to their counters for more important things. Opponent fires up Faceless Haven. Goes to combat. It's us. Yeah. Down to 8. And passes. Well, Resplendent Marshal. Doesn't actually do anything, but we will cast it. Can exile a vampire or an Archon to put all of it. So much synergy in this deck. So it's just oozing synergies. We don't have a god in the graveyard. All right, opponent has a removal, makes a shark. Sure. I think that's enough that we can actually. I think it's actually lethal, right? All right, run it back. So what's our best chance of this matchup? It's probably to get some sort of really aggressive draw. I think that would be the most likely way that this deck could win. Like, if our opponent draws a bunch of counters, we get a aggro curve out draw. That could work. I'm starting to think that this deck is heading swiftly towards meme status. Alright, we will play first. Alright. Well, this is the hand. It's got cards. We need land, so Airy to the bottom. Go. Opponent. Well, need lands. Archon to the bottom. Go. Opponent. Land. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, we haven't been mana screwed as much as I expected us to be mana screwed. But we have been mana screwed a couple of times. Alright, there's a Bone Crusher. Opponent untaps. They probably should just run out stuff, because what are we going to do with 2 mana? Yeah, opponent runs out Bone Crusher. Speaker of the Heavens. Alright, opponent. Land. Attacks us. No blocks. We need the Speaker of the Heavens. Once we get up to 27, look out. Once we get up to 27, we can tap this and make a 4/4 that trades with our opponent's 3-drop. So close to being good. Opponent foretells. Not a land. Well, go to combat. Attack you. Pass the turn. Opponent. How we doing? 15. Yeah, that's gonna have to be a really long game for our opponent to hit the timeout mark. I mean, they're playing. Okay, well, timeout dream dead. I mean, if we draw land, we survive a turn. No. Oh boy. All right. Well, all right. We'll give it one more try. After that, I think that once there's no way a deck can get a 50-50 record, then it just is a meme. So I think if you go 0-4 and you lose 4 in a row, then I am not sure how this deck got 6 wins in a row. I'm not seeing it. I guess if you just, I don't know, miraculously draw, like, I don't know, draw all your clerics at the same time or draw all your angels at the same time, but that's not even that synergistic. I am not sure. I have not figured out how this deck could have. Well, we got our Youthful Valkyrie. Look out, opponent. Oh boy, Saltai Yarion. Oh dear. All right. Well, Speaker of the Heavens, go. Opponent. Land and passes. Well, we will play our best friend Scoured Barons. No veto to combo this time, but opponent thinking very hard about the Scoured Barons. All right. Attack you. Omen of the Sea. Yeah. Okay. Draws a card. Opponent. Land. Beanstalk Giant. Up to 4 mana. Well, Daxos, I guess. Hit ya. Down to 18. Opponent. Beanstalk Giant. Gets a land. Oh boy. Opponent's almost to Emergent Ultimatum already. Another land. Passes. Well, hit ya. Ponesex, the Omen of the Sea. Sure. 2 to the bottom. Well, we'll play Youthful Valkyrie. Gain a life. Go. I mean, we're up to 25. We're not that far away from making an angel. Alright. Well, that slows us down. Opponent finds the Wrath. Lotus Cobra. Yeah, I mean, I guess we attack, like. Ugh. So, wrapping back around to where we started, the land situation has definitely been a big issue with this deck. Vorinclex. Opponent hits us. Alright, land number 3. I guess that's something. To the bottom. Go. Opponent. Liliana. Ultimates. I think it's probably fair enough that we can we can concede at this point. All right, we will go down. The Tradition, Light of Promise, bad. Youthful Valkyrie, bad. Indulging Patrician, also bad. Run it back. All right, this is your last chance. Last chance, Angel Cleric, life gain, 65 cards, nowhere near enough land deck. Gotta win 2 in a row. And I mean, if this deck could get these 2 wins in a row, at least it would keep itself from being the worst meme or dream deck of all time. Which right now I think it's on pace. And we've played some bad decks. I mean, there have been some memes. There have been some memes on this series. Maybe it can redeem itself enough that it will at least not live in infamy as the all-time worst. Kunaros, unfortunately, does not have all the text of a Gravedigger's Cage. Instead, it just has... It doesn't have the stuff that stops Emergent Ultimatum, basically. It only stops the Reanimator part. Lotus Cobra. Land. Mana. Cycles Migration Path. Makes it Orc. Well, we will play Kunaros. Gain a life. Gain land. Yes. Oh, someone else died. This deck, it will maybe go down as the worst deck in the history of Memer Dream so far, but it also might go down as the deck that has gotten the most nices for no discernible reason from opponents. I think it's pity nices. I think it's that our opponents like, oh my god, your deck's so bad that when you play a Veto and play a Scoured Barons, they're like, yeah, I'm rooting for you, buddy. Like that's cool. You're doing it. I think we're getting pity nices. Opponent, they're comboing off, doing their stuff. Yeah, Extinction Event. I don't know if our opponent knows that Kunaros does not actually do anything either. Well, we're going to play this Rampage. We have not gotten a chance to cast Rampage of the Valkyries, so now we have. No attacks. Go. I kind of think if you're playing the Emergent Ultimatum decks, I actually feel like it's probably better without Yarion, honestly. Like, I'm not sure why... Because Emergent Ultimatum is so good... I kind of feel like you just want to maximize your odds of drawing Emergent Ultimatum more than you want to maybe draw an extra card with Yarion someday. Opponent, make a manas. Like, cycling a Triome. Boom. Patrician. Oh, you should have played it the other direction, I guess. Boom. Yeah, I guess we could have got in one extra damage. Get ya with the Angel. Down to 15. I mean, we're going off. This is our deck. Maximum efficiency at the moment. 2 3-drops. A total of 4 power all in one turn. Move over Coco. Opponent. Make a mana. Beanstalk Giant. Pretty big. And... Passing. Combo. I mean, this... Alright. Hit ya. I mean, I think we gotta keep attacking. Like, I think our only chance of winning is just to keep, like, attacking and maybe we draw, like, a Heliod and can lifelink up our team or something. These cat tokens are sweet without a border. I actually didn't know that full art cards made full art tokens until right this second. Opponent. Kills our Angel. Well, we gain a life. Make a sacrifice. Drain ya. Oh, come on, deck. Give us a big life gain spell. A big life gain spell could steal this. Opponent. Combat. No attacks. Well, that's not a life gain spell, really. Luminarchus Pirate. Gain a life. Drain ya. Go to combat. Counter a Patrician. Hit ya. Oh my god, this works! We gain 1, we gain 2, that's 3. Are we... And then that's going to trigger this. Oh, this is Xaxes, I think. If our opponent doesn't have removal, we're going to win this game. Hit ya. That's 3, down to 3, and to turn 3 plus that is 3. Whew! Oh, okay. There's hope. There's hope. There's hope for a match win still. It's still going. All right. All right, we have a chance. You're telling us there's a chance, and there is a chance. All we got to do is beat Sultai Ramp with 65 card angels that I sort of own. All right, nice little aggro draw. Blight Priest and Veto with Speaker of the Heavens. Opponent might be in trouble. They might be in serious trouble here. We'll play this. Speaker of the Heavens, go. Boot it. Hello to you. Forest and Yoriel. Now play this. Play Luminarch Aspirant. Counter on Speaker of the Heavens. Hit ya. Gain some life past the turn. Opponent. Land. Beanstalk Giant. Getting their ramp on. Well, Temple Scry. Need lands to the bottom. Clerical Life's Bond. Combat. Counter on Speaker of the Heavens. Hit ya. Oh, opponent jumps. Okay. So this means Extinction Event's coming. But even if our opponent Extinction Events, that turns out Speaker of the Heavens and Wicked Angel. Maybe they have to, do they have to play it on... Oh, it's to vary? Oh my god. Oh my god, are we going to win a match? I kind of feel like we're ahead at the moment. Opponent land. Fable Passage passes. Well, go to combat. Counter on Luminarch Aspirant. Everything at our opponent. Phases out Cleric of Life's Bond. Angel. Banishing Light. Get rid of Teferi. Opponent's down to 13. Come on. Come on. No Wraths. No Sweepers. Opponent. Lan. Oh! Oh! Oh, we won a match. We won a match. We won a match. Oh, my goodness. It's possible. I don't know how. I don't know how it happened, but it did. Like, I guess that's how you can win a match with that deck. And, I mean, I don't know if there's really any point in playing more matches. We'd probably go out on the high note. It took us 4 matches to win 1. So that definitely qualifies this deck as a meme, like record-wise. However, we did see how it can win a game, and we just saw right here, the answer seems to be a aggressive cleric curve. Like, that seems to be the way that this could actually win a game. Maybe you get that draw 6 times in a row, your opponent stumbles around a little bit, times out a little bit, whatever, mulligans a lot. Maybe that could get you to 6 wins in a row. I can see how that is possible. Let's look at this deck then. So, oh man, so many things to say about this deck. So first off, obviously the deck has several things that I would say are just, well, I don't even think I would say, that are just objectively wrong. It's wrong to not have a sideboard. Like, if you're playing best of 3, have a sideboard. I feel like we talk about this every episode of Meme or Dream. There's literally no reason not to. Throw in any random cards in your color, and it's going to be better than having no cards in your sideboard. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, there really isn't many reasons to play 65 cards in your main deck. Like, I know you want to play every fun thing. I think that's easy to fall into that trap, maybe. Like, oh, like, that's kind of cool. Like, maybe Light of Promise is sweet. Like, I'll throw that in, and next thing you know, you have 65 cards. You have 23 lands, and you're getting constantly mana screwed, which is something that we dealt with throughout our matches with the deck. A little mana screwed here, a little mana screwed there. Not ideal. So don't play 65 cards. Don't play 61 cards. Don't play 69 cards unless you actually have a reason to. Are there reasons to? There are some. Battleits, Yarion. There are some reasons, but in general, if you are building decks and new to building decks, always play 60 cards is going to be a good rule to live by. Like, if you always play 60 cards, you're going to be right way more often than if you sometimes have 65, and if you sometimes have 69, if you sometimes have 200, and you sometimes have 60. So that's a good rule to live by. Another thing is, as far as this build of the deck, there's just way too many tap lands. And I don't know if this is... Even if this is a budget thing, like if you look at all these lands, I mean, if you look at our mana base real quick, tap land, let's move to the sideboard, just so we can see all the tap lands that are in this deck. Sideboard, 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 sideboard. I mean, we're not using it for anything. So if you look at the deck, we have 9 lands that come into play untapped, and then we have 14 lands that come into play tapped. I could see an argument for, okay, all the temples are a budget choice, essentially. Like, I just don't have the money, the wild cards to have Fabled Passage or whatever. That's legitimate. I'm all about budget decks, and if that's what you're thinking, that's fine. However, I do think that this deck would be way, way better if we, let's say, moved in the lands that actually help us cast our spells, even if they come into play tapped. Scoured Barrens isn't great, but it does synergize with our life gain stuff. Nice, according to our opponents. But the deck would be a lot better if you played the on-color lands and then cut these temples and just... Even cheaper option, just play more swamps and plains. Like, yes, it would be optimal to have, like, Castle Lockwades, Castle Arden Vales, Fabled Passages, but the deck is going to be perfectly fine if you only play, whatever, 12 dual lands, or even 8 dual lands, a lot of decks play, and you just fill in the rest with basic lands. That's going to help a ton with how smooth the deck runs. Of course, the other issue is, 23 lands is just nowhere near enough. 23 lands would not be enough even if we got down to 60 cards. Like, let's say we cut the cards that we're constantly sideboarding out of the deck. We do a little bit of trimming. I think we accidentally cut a Righteous Valkyrie. We get down to 60 cards, even for this build of the deck. 23 lands is not enough. If you're worried about drawing too many lands, play some MDFCs. Or just add more lands. Is a good rule of thumb if you're new to building decks. Put in the number of lands you think is correct, and then add two lands to it, and your deck's going to be better. Like, and this deck would definitely be better if it was plus 2 lands. I could argue it should be plus 3 or 4 lands even, potentially. But plus a land or 2 is going to make your decks better every time. So that's the, like, talk about this deck in specific. On the other hand, something I mentioned before is... Every time I play a deck, whether that deck is good, whether that deck is bad, I want to learn something. I want to take something away from it. And what do we learn, or what can we take away from, I wish I owned more Angels, this wild pile that is obviously a meme, obviously not competitive. And I would say we learned a few things. We got to see some sweet synergies. With the Clerics in specific, we got to see Speaker of Heavens do things. We saw Daxos and Clerical Life Mod. We saw Vito doing things. So it made me think that in this weird pile of seemingly almost random cards, there is probably something here for Standard. Will it involve everything that this deck has going on? Almost certainly not. I think the biggest issue with the deck, well, I mean, we talked about a bunch of issues, but another issue with the deck is it's just really scattered. You got like a little bit of stuff that cares about Angels. We cut the 2-drop, but you got a little bit of stuff that cares about Angels, but not a lot. You got stuff that cares about Clerics, but you got a bunch of Angels. So it's very just discombobulated and not very focused on anything. I think this deck would be better if you kind of divide it up. Like, we have this, here's how I see this deck. We have this deck. We have Cleric stuff. Just look at these piles real quick. We have this stuff I would consider cleric things. So we have cleric things over here. Then we have I guess we gotta add this angel back in, or else this is not gonna make sense. Then we have, okay, so then we have angel things, which we have angels here. We have cleric over here. We have angel over here. And then we have like life gain stuff, I guess, which is like Heliod's, the Patricians, Kunaros, I guess. Righteous Valkyrie does kind of walk the line between Angels and Clerics, so I guess those two copies is like what's trying to tie the deck together, but it's just so scattered. We have like a deck that's life gain base, but not really life gain. We have some cards that care specifically about Angels, but we don't have that many Angels. We have this Cleric sub-theme that felt pretty powerful in some instances, but then some of our Cleric stuff doesn't care about our Angel stuff, so I feel like the deck is really just very scattered. So I feel like there's a few different directions you could take this deck. You could just go life gain and not care about Clerics, not care about Angels, build around Heliod's and Griffonaries, and maybe even indulging Patricians, and stuff like that. And just build a life gain deck, not caring about creature types. You could build an Angel deck, although I feel like we're kind of far away from that. So I would probably not do that out of this deck because we have more Clerics than Angels. But you could build an Angel deck that would probably be good, that would feature Youthful Valkyrie and Rampage of the Valkyries and maybe Angel of Destiny and definitely Righteous Valkyrie and the 3-drop that I'm not seeing at the moment, that Resplendent Marshal, that does absolutely nothing in our deck because our creature types are so scattered. So that would be another possibility. And then you could just build Clerics where you cut this expensive stuff. You cut the Angel stuff because they're not going to really do things with Clerics. You cut some of the random expensive stuff, and then you just build an actual Cleric deck where you have more copies of these cards. So I feel like there's a ton of directions you could go with this. And this is not to bash on the person who built this deck, because what my guess is this is a deck where someone is working with what they got, essentially. Like, they only have a couple of Righteous Valkyries. They have a couple of Angel of Destinies. They have, a couple Speaker of Heavens. You got one of these. You got two of those. And you're making do the best you can with the cards you have. How they actually won 6 matches in a row, that I still have not figured out. The best I can guess is you get the aggro Cleric hand and just jank people out like we did in our one win. But I'm still not super clear how it won 6 times in a row. But I think that's the next step. If that is what's happening, and these are the cards I have, I'm doing the best I can with them. Obviously, you should have a sideboard, you shouldn't have 65 cards, etc., 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 but you can take in, as you earn more cards, as you win more packs, start moving in a direction. Move towards Clerics, move towards Angels, forget about the tribes, be straight lifelink, and I would say, in my opinion, Clerics is probably the direction to go with this deck. If I was going to try to build from this framework, I would be cutting the random stuff, cutting the Angels, and focusing in on Clerics, hopefully earning or winning more copies of Speaker of the Heaven, more Luminarchus Pirates, more Righteous Valkyries, more vetoes, getting some auras and some of the other Clerics that are good in the format, and trying to build black-white Clerics out of it with a sideboard, with 60 cards in the main deck, with 2 more lands than you think is correct, because that's usually the best thing to do, with a little bit more efficient removal. Face Fetters, Banishing Light, little too expensive, especially when you are in black and you have access to Heartless Axe, you have access to Bloodchief's Thirst. So anyway, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going way too deep on this this breakdown of this deck that we just went 1-4 with and got crushed the entire time. So maybe I'm going way too deep with the brewing and talking aspect. But anyway, those are my ideas. I'd build Clerics, play a sideboard, add 2 more lands to your deck. So overall, there's no doubt that I wish I had more Angels was a meme. Like, it's just way too scattered. It's not consistent at all. And it's got a lot of cards that are good in it and a lot of deck building issues. But we did see maybe a glimmer, a slight glimpse of what something similar could possibly do. So, I don't know. I mean, my guess is it's a cards I own type deck. I've guessed that the name of this deck, I wish I owned more Angels. I think that's literally what was happening when the person was building the deck. I bet they wish they had more Angels or more Clerics so they could build a more focused deck. So I guess congrats at getting 6 wins, even though I have no idea how it happened. And yeah, do a bit of tuning, and there is probably something there with one of those tribes. Worst case, once we get to the D&D set this summer and we theoretically get more Clerics, then this Cleric tribe could actually be really good. So anyway, that's been me, Murder Ape. Sorry, I hope I didn't ramble on too long at the end about all the deck building stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed our opponents dicing us for dealing 1 damage with veto and gain lands. Hope you enjoyed all the scrylands and everything else. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.